All right, Architecture 1 students, now we're getting more into a floor plan and we're starting to use layers. We're doing a lot of offsets and we're planning a lot of spaces, okay? So this is how we get to this point. Now this is the point we're at right now. This is not the complete point, but in class we got to this point right here. I'm going to show you how by copying some of this. Okay, I'm just going to click on the copy tool and just move it over. Now you don't have to do this because what you're doing is you're creating this beginning of a floor plan. Okay, so this, the outer perimeter right here, that is my 55 foot by 40 foot rectangle. Okay, or actually I take that back. This, the inside that is 55 feet by 40 feet. Okay, 55 feet by 40 feet. Now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and get rid of this. Okay, and then I offset all of this is what I did. I'm going to join this back together. Okay, so it starts out as a rectangle just like this, one object. Then you do the offset. 10.5 inches, offset it to the outside, okay, and there you go, and select both rectangles and then click the explode button right up here, and that makes everything a separate piece of geometry. All right, now I want to establish a garage space, so I'm thinking about sort of the biggest room on this building, and or one that's definitely going to be immovable, okay. Meaning it's got to be in a specific location. Typically, a designated location in the house. I don't really know how to express that any better. Sometimes your living room might even be bigger than your garage. If it is, that's fantastic, but I really always start with placing my garage because everything else is kind of built, not really off of that, using that garage as influence, but it's, creating, or it's dividing that space and then allowing you to divide more space throughout your design. Okay, so I'm going to offset to make that garage. I'm going to click the offset tool and I'm going to make it a 22 foot by 22 foot garage. So I type 22, single quotation mark, hit the tab. No, I do not hit the tab button. I'm sorry. Don't hit the tab button. Hit the enter button and then offset this line to the inside 22 feet, then come down here and grab this bottom inside line and offset it just like this. Start using your layers, select those lines that are on the inside, pull down your drop-down menu for your layers and change it to the interior wall layer. Okay. Now I need to establish some wall thickness to these walls because our walls are not just single lines like that. They actually have thickness to them. All right, so I'm going to do another offset. And typically most interior walls on houses built in our area are 4.5 inches thick. Okay, and that's including 2 layers of drywall and then the 1 layer of core material, which is, using 2x4 lumber. Okay, offset. Okay, now I've got that. So I'm already starting to develop some space here. I've got a garage here. This could be a kitchen or a master bedroom. This could also be a kitchen right in here. And I also want to put more sleeping areas. I got to have areas for the some minor bedrooms. So I'm going to place those right over here on this side. All right. And I'm thinking on building code. I have to think that building code says my smallest bedroom can only be, or any room, any habitable space cannot be smaller than 70 square feet. Okay. Then there's another, just right below that in the code manual, it says no measurement across the room can be less than 7 feet. So it's got to be 70 square feet, no less than a 7-foot measurement across any part of the room. And so how would you make a 70 square foot room with that 7-foot criteria? The easiest way is to say, well, 7 by 10. 7 times 10 equals 70. Okay, so the 7 by 10 would be a 70 square foot or 70 square foot room. But that's a very small place to live. This house is going to have space for something bigger than that. So right now I'm kind of looking at a 10-foot wide, something maybe 10 by 10 or 10 by 12 for my minor bedrooms. So how am I going to establish that is I am going to borrow a line right here. And I'm also keeping in mind that I also want some hallway space to separate those rooms or to help provide privacy from the rest of the house. So separating those rooms from the rest of the house, say like the living room and other common areas like that. So my hallway by building code has to be 36 inches wide. That's any passageway, like a hallway, a stairwell has to be 36 inches wide. If you're building a kitchen and it's a pretty complex kitchen with all kinds of cabinet works and pony walls and bars and stuff, then our passageway into the kitchen has to be 36 inches wide. Actually, into the kitchen, you'll probably want more space than that. So if I want my rooms to be 10 foot wide, plus I got a 36-inch hallway that I have to concern myself with, I'm going to go ahead and do an offset for 13 feet. Okay, and offset this red line right there. Okay, now I also want some wall thickness on that. So I'm going to offset it again. I'm going to click on it. And of course, you see it still says 13 feet for my offset. But I'm going to temporarily edit that to say 4.25 inches. And there, it offsets at 4.25 inches. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and select those two lines and put them on that green layer. All right, so that's the outside part of my hallway. Now I want to establish, the hallway itself, the separation between the bedrooms and the hallway. So I'm going to do another offset. I'm going to click on offset. I'm going to load in there 4.5 inches and hit enter. Then offset this line. Whoops, I'm sorry. That's not what I want to do. I want 36 inches, but I can still use it like this, okay? So if I click on that line, I've got 4.5 inches loaded in. So I'm going to do a temporary edit at 36 inches. Okay. Now I can click on that line and you see it defaults back to that original 4.5 inches for the wall thickness. And I'm going to create its wall thickness right there. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is start setting aside some bathroom space over here in this area because we got a couple of rooms over here. We need some bathroom space as well. And a minor bathroom is really going to be pretty much a minimal size bathroom. Now, in a minor bathroom, the smallest bathtub that they make is going to be a 5-foot long bathtub. So I want to at least provide enough room for that. I might even want to provide myself a little bit of wiggle room and maybe go a little bit wider, like 5 foot 6 inches. So I'm going to show you how to do this. We're going to draw a line this time. So I'm going to click on the line tool just to draw a line. Now I'm bringing my cursor back into the field. I'm not hovering over anything. I'm not activating any points. Okay, but I want to. I want to activate a reference point. I'm going to go up to this corner right here and hover. And it turns that square on. Okay, that green square you see. That's turning on that reference point. If I pull away, you can still see like a green crosshair on it right there. If I go back to it and hover, I'm turning it off. So now it's gone. All right, go back and hover again to turn it back on, and then drag your cursor down, but you're not clicking on anything. You're just dragging it. Make sure you go ahead and drag it down. Don't activate any other reference points because some are going to want to activate on you. So just go ahead and be gutsy about it. Hover over that corner point and then just drag your cursor down. Do not click on anything. All right, so I'm dragging it down. I want this to be I want this line to be 5 feet, or this wall to be 5 feet from that corner that I just turned on, that reference corner. All right, so I'm going to type 5. Actually, I can type 5.5 feet. That's going to be 5 foot 6 inches. And that's where my wall starts. So I start drawing that line right here, which is 5 foot 6 inches from that spot right up there. And I just draw it all the way until I latch onto it perpendicularly. Then I'm going to do offset again. And remember, we changed it to a 3-foot offset earlier, so I'm going to temporarily edit it at 4.5 inches. And now I've got that that wall right there for the bathroom. Okay, now these bedrooms, these are going to be bedrooms. They're looking pretty large right now. Okay, so I'm probably going to do some other stuff here as well. But that's the point we're at right now. Okay, that's the point we're at. Same thing over here. That's where you need to be. Okay, and so just watch this video to get caught up.